Universalism versus particularism. What is more important? Is the rule or a relationship? When it comes to doing business across borders, it is crucial to know if the respective business partner comes from a universalism or a particularism country. And especially in cross-cultural communications, business people need to know how to treat universalists and particularists and what exact differences there are between these two. In a universalism country, citizens attach a great importance on laws, values, beliefs, obligations, and rules because they believe that it is their responsibility towards society. Universalists are raised to do what they consider as right. What is right will always stay right, regardless the situation or the circumstances. Therefore, the most important aspects in a universalism country are being right, applying to the rules. Rules come before anything else, they stand in the first place, and these rules must be followed in all situations and under all circumstances, which results in people following contracts and promises. Universalists tend to neglect the relationship and instead sacrifice the social friendship for applying to the rules. This might make them become very rigid or even inflexible on the one hand, but it creates reliability and secureness on the other hand, as the contract partner is always able to expect the agreed conditions from universalists. Now, particularists are kind of the exact opposite of universalists. In a particularism country, citizens attach a great importance on the relationship, on social connections, on the individual moments and situations or circumstances. Particularists adapt their actions to each particular situation. Their response to a certain moment or situation may change based on what is happening on this specific event and what people are involved. Therefore, the most important aspects in a particularism country are the obligation to a group, demonstrating high connectedness to this group, being able to adapt themselves accordingly if the situation changes, and the relationship, of course. Particularists take circumstances into account and they treat each situation individually and always focus on the relationship. If conditions change, then particularists expect the contract to accordingly change, and this makes them become very flexible and things are always kept in suspension.
Individualism and communitarianism. So the differences is that individualism, people believe in personal freedom and achievement, and they believe that you can make your own decision and that you must take care of yourself. While communitarianism believes that a group is more important than the individual, and the group provides help and safety in exchange for loyalty. The group always comes before the individual. So Malaysia has a score of 26 in communitarian society, which is manifested because of the close long-term commitment to the member group, and also to the family, extended family, or any extended relationship. A few typical individualist cultures, which includes the United States, Canada, the UK, New Zealand, Australia, and Switzerland, while we have typical communitarian countries such as Africa, Latin America, and also Japan. There are a few ways that we can do in order to negotiate well with individualist countries. The first thing that we can do is to expect low context communication and extroverted behavior. We also need to stress on their personal gain and also individual goals, and also they will want to have some personal time and also privacy, and also expect them to always think and act individually. While for communitarian country, it's the other way around. So we would want to expect a high context communication and also introverted behavior, and they will have more on community goals, distinct from individual goals, and also always stress on the group gains instead of the individual gains.
Okay, achievement versus aspiration. This dimension refers to how people achieve and maintain status and respect within a culture. Achievement-oriented culture based one's status and respect on his or her competence and performance. It is the description of American dreams that if you have enough talent, skill and hard work, you can accomplish anything you want. title and position of hierarchy have limited or no meaning within themselves. In a description-oriented culture, title, rank, and hierarchy are important in and of themselves. Often these titles are based upon individual not because any achievement of their own, but because of family rank status in the society. These people have a high dimension may be important in determining effectiveness and dynamic of team leadership.
Right. Sequential versus synchronic. Sequential cultures see time as one lining consisting of equal building blocks. Activities are placed along that line in a sequential order in a logical, efficient way. Time is the leash on which people walk. For the synchronic cultures, on the other hand, time is flexible and various activities can take place at the same time. People from synchronic cultures have a goal in mind, but there is no one critical path to achieve this goal. So the expressions of the sequential time perception is that people do one thing at a time. Time is precise, time is limited, and a resource that needs to be efficiently used. Logic, efficiency, and speed are the focus of the business. Tasks are sometimes secondary to time. Meeting deadlines is commended, and the future is a continuance of the present's timeline. For the expressions of synchronic time perception, people do multiple things at a time. Times are guidelines or intention. Time is a tool, a subjective, moldable concept. Relationships and effectiveness are the focus of the business. Time is secondary to task. Completing the task is more important than meeting deadlines. Future is interconnected with the past and present. That's all for the sequential and synchronic. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aiman, and today I would like to share and explain to all of you about one of the Trompenaars dimension culture, which is neutral versus emotional. Right, first we will go to the neutral culture. People from the neutral culture control their emotion from other people. It means here that they don't express or show their feelings or emotion to other people. When they are in the public or at the workplace, they don't show that they are angry, sad, happy, or even laugh loudly when they are in the public. Example of the country that have neutral culture is United Kingdom, Sweden, Japan, and Finland. Now we move to the emotional culture. People in the emotional culture express their emotion openly. They spontaneously show what they feel or even share their emotion and feeling to other people, whether they are in the workplace or at the public. People in this emotional culture often laugh, talk loudly, and greet each other enthusiastically or really passionate because they think it is accepted in their culture. An example of the emotional culture are like Spain, Mexico, Italy, and France. So this is the tips when people from neutral and emotional culture want to do business together. When people from neutral culture want to do business with the emotional culture people, usually neutral culture people will feel offended or doubt by the other person's behavior. So to avoid this, a good preparation and taking someone's culture into consideration will prevent this awkward situation.
Specific versus diffuse. Specific is privacy important aspect than individual freedom. People tend to compartmentalize their lives, keeping the different parts separate. So, people will interact with an entirely different set of people depending on whether they are at work, enjoying a leisure activity, or spending time with their family. In the other means is people separate work from private life. Second, work status and social status different. Third, people often belong to several different social groups. And the last one is relationships don't affect work's objective. The example of the country that use specific culture is like Germany, United States, and United Kingdom. Next is for diffuse culture. Diffuse culture is there are a fewer boundaries. There is a natural overlap between work and personal life. good relationships are the key to doing business and are the same whether at work or meeting socially. And the other means is no set boundaries between work and social life. Second, social status depending on work. Third, people belong to fixed social groups. And the last one is good results depending on good relationship. The example of the country that use diffuse culture is like China, India, and Argentina.
I'm going to talk about is the differences between internal and external control. An individual with internal locus of control believes that their behavior is guided by their personal decision and effort, while an individual with external locus of control believes that their behavior is guided by faith, luck, other people, or other external circumstances. There are a few ways that we can do in order to differentiate between internal locus of control and also external locus of control. For example, in a situation of having a bad grades in exam, an internal locus of control will have a thought of saying that he did not study enough and he could probably do better next time. While those who have external locus of control would have thought that the test was flawed and there's no way to do well. Always have the thought of internal locus of control instead of external locus of control, which decides who you are. Being more optimistic about yourself and the future will help you to be the better you, and also not think about the negativity that comes in the future, and always think that you are the product of yourself in the future. Always do better in your life in order to get the good results.